Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy and I am on a financial freedom journey with my family. I share all about that and more on my channel. And today we're going to be going over our net worth and financial goals report for May. I do these videos every single month to share not only our progress towards our financial goals throughout the year, but also to share our net worth progress, which is really interesting. And this month was a very interesting month. I will share more about that when we get down to our net worth. But as you can see, we had a pretty big jump in our assets, which I will explain at the middle of this video. But let's go ahead and go through our financial goals first. So for May, we did have an extra paycheck month. So we were able to put about double what we normally are able to put towards our goals, which is really exciting. But we do always treat those extra paycheck months as just normal months. And then we use all of that extra income to be able to accelerate our financial goals. I think that's a really great way of doing it. And it's definitely a bonus in monthly budgeting instead of per paycheck budgeting. So I really enjoyed that piece of doing a monthly budget because those extra paycheck months are really just extra paycheck months. We never count on that income, so we're able to directly put it towards our financial goals. So for May, we were able to put $3,400 towards our car fund. We are saving up money to buy a car in cash. We have done this multiple times before. This will actually be our third car that we've purchased in cash. Long story, if you've been on my channel for a while, you are aware of what those were. But basically, we bought my husband a temporary car, and now we are looking to purchase a nicer, bigger SUV for our family. So that is why we are saving this money. So again, we were able to put $3,400 towards this goal in May. And that brings our total in our car fund at the end of May to $10,850. Our goal is $15,000, and that leaves us with a remaining of $4,150, and we are 72% of the way to the goal. Now, I did share this in my last Debt Free Friday video, but we are going to be starting the search for that car right now because we do, we're obviously not all the way finished with this goal, but we're pretty close. We're now, like in current time, we're closer to 75%. So at that point, we said we would start the search process because it might take us a little while to find something. And we also need to sell my husband's current car as well. So that is the plan. We are starting the search, which is definitely making it a little bit more exciting for me because we're actually starting to see movement here. For the rest of the year, we will be working on maxing out my husband's Roth IRA, my own Roth IRA, and also putting some money into our 529 savings if we can. That's kind of always like our extra goal that we would love to do, but it's also not a huge priority for us. We are definitely more focused on our own retirement at this point because you cannot take out loans for retirement. My kids can take out loans for school if they have to. Obviously, we would love to help them as much as we can, but we are prioritizing our own retirement at this point. So that is that. Our total goal amount for the year is $34,000. We still have $23,000 left and 32% of the way towards that goal. Now we are more than 32% of the way through the year, so we are trailing a little bit behind, but that is okay. I'm hoping we'll catch up soon. And we usually have a bonus at the end of the year that kind of helps us to become whole on these goals. So I'm not too concerned about that, but we'll keep an eye on it. So very happy with the progress we've made so far. Now let's go down to the more interesting part of this video, which will be our net worth. So I pull these numbers as of the last day of the month every single month so that we have a consistent base level of what our net worth is. We've been doing this since 2021, so we have a few years of net worth growth, and it's really interesting to be able to look back and have that consistent monthly amount. So the first value here is our home value. That is at $565. We haven't changed that in quite some time. I don't think that we will be changing it. It's pretty good for our area. It's right in our Zillow estimate, so I feel comfortable with that. I don't want to overinflate the value of our home, but I also don't want to super underinflate it. So I feel like we're at a happy medium right now, but we will continue to look at that. If I'm being honest, I typically look at Zillow at least once a month, if not more. So I'm pretty confident that this is still accurate. So we're going to leave that there. Our HSA, we do have a health savings account because we have a high deductible health plan. So we are able to contribute to an HSA. This is many years of growth. We've had an HSA for quite some time. I want to say since 2019. And so this has been growing for a long time. We do use it though. So there will be months you can see our amount between March and April. We did pull some money out for some medical bills that we had. And then we had some great growth between April and May because we no longer have had to pull anything out right now. All of our medical bills are paid off up to this point. So we probably will be able to let this continue to grow. Hopefully, fingers crossed for the rest of the year, but we'll see. So HSA is currently at $12,300. Now we do have a little more than half of this money invested. We have a few $1,000s that we keep in cash, again, because we do use this money as we need to for like medical, dental, vision expenses, but we do keep some of it in cash and then the rest of it is invested. So that's why we're able to get some really good growth between these 2 months as the market increased. Now, what I really want to talk about in this video is our retirement and savings. Now, this category is basically all of our cash that we have. So it's our 401ks, our Roth IRAs, our emergency fund, the current value of our checking account, our sinking funds, literally our brokerage account, literally all of those accounts put together into one number. It's just easier for me to share it that way. And also I don't want to have to list out 800 different accounts here. So we do keep it all in one. But as you can see, we had a really high increase in the month of May. So basically what happened was we had a windfall of money come to us. It was unexpected. It was over $10,000, about $13,000. So that was unexpected. It actually came to us from an inheritance on my husband's side. I will not be sharing more than that, as that is not my business to share necessarily. I obviously share my life on here, but my husband does not. So I'm not going to go too far into why we received that, but essentially inheritance from my husband's side of the family. So we did receive an influx of a few $1,000s, and that was really great. I know you're probably thinking, why would you not have just put it towards your financial goals? Honestly, for myself, it was more of it was unexpected and we didn't want to make any rash decisions with it right now. So essentially what we did was when we received it, we put it into savings, into our sinking funds, and we are just going to leave it there for a while. We did not want to just make an immediate decision. And also for myself, I prefer to keep our financial goals tracking on what we're actually able to send every single month. And I feel like I don't necessarily want to overinflate it with money that came to us in a way that wasn't earned, quote unquote. So I don't think we're going to put it towards our financial goals. I know that's weird. At the end of the year, if we still haven't met at least our core 3 goals, which I'm pretty confident we will, if we have not finished our Roth IRAs by the end of the year, we probably would use that money to just go ahead and finish them off. But to be honest, I think we'll be able to. And so I don't necessarily want to use that for that. What we are planning to use it for at this time is, again, we're going to just leave it in our sinking funds for right now. In a previous video, I had talked about us potentially doing a trip for Christmas instead of doing a large Christmas. And I think we're going to do that. And I think we're going to use some of that money to pay for that. So just being transparent that is probably not something that we normally would have done, but I know I talked about it in a few different videos, but after my sister very unexpectedly passed away, I feel like I have a very different view on money in some ways. Obviously, we're still very motivated to complete our goals, but I'm also very motivated to make experiences with my family. And I think that is a really good way to use that money. So we are going to be using some of it for that. And the rest of it, honestly, I think we'll just leave in our sinking funds. Our sinking funds were not super funded. And so being able to kind of split the 5 figures amongst them has really kind of allowed us to take a deep breath and relax about some of those sinking funds, like our, car, home, kids, and vacation sinking funds. They're all very full right now, obviously, because we just got an influx of money. But yeah, we just weren't sure what we were going to do with it. And we just decided to park it in savings for now. Again, if we aren't able to at least max out both of our Roth IRAs, we will do that. But for now, I was like, I don't want to put it towards financial goals because I want to see what we can do with our regular income. So that long story, sorry, but did just want to explain that because it is a part of our net worth and I share that here. And so I did want to be transparent, and it will cause our net worth to jump up quite a bit this month. And so I wanted to give that explanation so that you're not just like, oh my gosh, they're doing so great. There was obviously a reason for part of that. So, even taking that out though, we did a really good month financially. The stock market was up for the most part in May. So we did have a really good month otherwise. but just wanted to explain that. So currently our retirement and savings is $416,100. So we were able to jump over the $400,000 mark, which is really exciting. Again, big chunk of that increase was from that windfall. So that's fun. And that really puts us close to $1 million in assets, which is crazy. So exciting. I'm like hoping we can hit it by the end of the summer because I would just love to see $1 million on here. Obviously, our net worth is not $1 million, but it's still a fun milestone to meet. So our current assets are $993,400, and our only liability is our mortgage at $349,300. So we will be continuing to pay down that mortgage as we go, but honestly, no plans in the near future to accelerate the payoff very much because we're kind of happy with where we're at right now. We have a relatively low rate on our mortgage, so eventually I would like to focus on payoff, but this is not the time for that. So for May, our net worth was $644,100. We had an increase this month of $37,300. Now, again, about 1/3 of that growth this month was from the windfall of money that we had. So just being fully transparent. But even if you take that out, like we still had the best month of the year still. So basically with both of those, it was just like a supercharged month, but we would have had a really good month either way. So just wanted to share that with you guys and be completely transparent and honest about where that money came from and the fact that it was a windfall that we were not expecting. So that is that. So for the year to date, we are up $53,300. And if we take a peek down here at our net worth tracking, obviously we have not met another milestone, but 700,000 is not looking that far away. We're almost at 650. So that's really exciting. And I'm hopeful that maybe we can meet that 700,000 by the end of 2025. That would be really exciting. And just shifting down to our annual increase of net worth, we are currently at 53,000. Now, again, if we compare it to, prior years, we're, almost halfway through the year. So I would say we're tracking pretty well compared to prior years. Our lowest increase year was 2023 at 85,000, and our highest increase year was 2021 at $155,000, which was more money than we made in 2021. So that's kind of crazy. But we did focus really hard in 2021 on debt payoff, and I think that really helped our net worth to skyrocket because once you stop working against yourself with debt, it really helps your net worth increase substantially. So that is all I have for this video. Thank you so much if you watched the whole thing, because I'm sure this is going to be a longer one with all of my explanations. But I did just want to tell you guys about that. And, it's good to share those type of things because I feel like sometimes, especially when financial creators are on the internet, especially like on Instagram where there's not a ton of context, it can be really misleading to say, oh my gosh, we had a $40,000 month this month. But in reality, it was not really a $40,000 month if you think about it in terms of us receiving a windfall in that. So wanted to share that, and thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what financial goals you're working on and what your next net worth milestone is. If you're interested in this exact tracker that I'm sharing on the screen right now, I do have it for free. You do not need to do anything to receive it except for click on the link and make a copy. I don't take your email address. I don't do anything with it. It is completely no strings attached, completely free. I just want you guys to be able to track your financial goals and net worth right along with me. So feel free to do so. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, everyone.